NEP 819 is a near enhancer proposal, so NEP, um, and trying to create a burn standard for NFTs on the Near protocol blockchain. And this was for the NEARCON 2020 hackathon. You see the cute little kind of graphic Bianca made talking about the burn of the NFT. And then we actually have this NFT in the MarmaJ DAO. We could have burned it for admission to the event, but that means we would lose this receipt, this kind of showing, this visual showcase that we supported the event, that we went to this event. And that's what we're trying to hopefully work towards, creating a standard. Standard for burning NFTs. It acts as an extension to NEP 171. Arguably, just because you need 171 regardless, and we're hoping to actually add the burn standard to NEP 171. But regardless, it requires NEP 177 and 297. So if people are like, what the heck does that mean? From a very high level, NEP 171 is the main NFT standard for NFTs on Near. So if you're from the Ethereum ecosystem, I think it's EIP 77. Oh my gosh, I forget now. Like I haven't been doing ETH stuff for so long. 771, I think. Wow, that's crazy. We explained that Mintbase did NFT ticketing for NEARCON, and those similar reasonings might be a use case for others. So you could be selling a physical product or an online product or good, and basically the user gets an NFT, they burn it, they receive the product. You could be hosting an event like NEARCON, you could have ticketing. You arrive to the event, you burn the NFT, you grant it entry. Um, with the MarmaJ team for this hack, we're talking about building beyond the burn. So right now, EIP 297, um, it has the event standard, right? So an event's emitted, but what happens beyond that? So we burn a token, what happens beyond that? So NEP 819 supports a standard for burning NFTs. With this standard, when a user chooses to burn their NFT, they will have the option to complete a utility burn. So again, on the right-hand side of the page, there's a wonderful picture there that kind of makes it hopefully very clear. So what are the near enhancement proposals for NFTs? So there's a bunch of NFT standards on Near. Sorry, long weekend. You have 171, the non-fungible token standard, so the main NFT standard. You have 177, non-fungible token metadata standard. So pretty much all an NFT is basically a Excel sheet, right? So you have two columns. You have your column with your token ID. So I have token ID 1, and it's going to point to some sort of metadata. So that can be an image of MarmaJ or an image of my face. But either way, I'm kind of just saying that token ID 1 is the metadata of my face. Token ID 2 is metadata of MarmaJ, and so forth. So we need to have that so we can burn an NFT, get the metadata, and put it in the new NFT. And how we do that, we have one implementation, but we would like lots of support to figure out the most efficient ways of doing this. So we're talking about just token approval management. So that's when somebody wants another contract to manage your token, which we didn't talk about, which we did not talk about in this specific EIP. Fungible token enumeration. So pretty much if you go to someone's account, you want to know from a specific contract, all the NFTs they hold, or being able to go to a contract and count out every single token ID and the owners. So that's kind of enumeration. We didn't go through that in this proposal. We might need an enumeration, but that's a whole different topic, I suppose, potentially for later. There's the NFT royalties and payouts standard, which again is not part of this standard, but if we built an application on top, honestly, any application on top of EIP 819 would probably require all of these EIPs except for EIP 245. The multi-token standard EIP is actually still in draft. But the rest of these are in like finalized status. So we probably should have put like a yellow symbol over the multi-token standard, and the rest of them are green and already live. The record of it is removed from future blocks on the Near protocol blockchain. Um, and when you burn an NFT, there's no standard options for what's happening with the NFT after you burn it, or even during the burn. And so we're trying to kind of standardize that. NEP 297, like I've explained, is the event standard form, on Near for how you format events of what's happening on the blockchain. And so the fact that this NFP exists, in my opinion, shows that there's clearly a lot of effort and a need for, to standardize events for what's happening with NFTs and ensure that, applications and community members have a good understanding of what's happening with their NFTs. So the event standard is more for applications to be able to, have things happening on their UI based on the events. And it's very efficient because the events are not actually stored on chain. So a burn standard would not be that efficient, arguably. And again, that's why we're having it be an option. We're not trying to say that, like, why is this kind of the solution to kind of some of the problems we've shared? And I've kind of already been pointing in like why. But specifically, with NEP 819, NFT burn options are extended to include both burn, excuse me, and utility burn functions. So currently, there's no burn standard in any NEP on Near, but we're trying to make sure that there's two burn functions available. Like I made a mistake burn and utility burn. When a user burns their NFT, they would have the options, and utility burn creates a receipt, a visual receipt to the owner who called the function, so the predecessor account. And of course, again, the predecessor account um, could be a smart contract like a DAO or a multi-call account. On the application layer, when someone's building out their own version of this, you could start saying, how many NFTs should be minted. So that's where we haven't gotten to in the specification or implementation so far. I think part of the issue is going to be enumeration. It's probably going to be needed because we're probably going to have to, when choosing a new token ID, um, it can't be randomized, obviously, and so we're going to have to know, okay, in the smart contract, um, what is the next available token ID, pretty much. So, and doing here, we're extinguishing burn limitations. So NEP 819 is just the beginning of offering numerous on-chain flows for creators, developers, NFT owners, holders. It doesn't really matter too much. So in the future, we hope to extend the standard and build upon it to allow for more possibilities. So for example, we hope to keep working on the standard and maybe, add an enumeration potentially and whatever else is needed after more feedback. But like, a lot of the projects we're thinking about is like NFT evolution. So, you have an NFT, what is it? It evolves in some on-chain way that's very clear. Um, but the evolution could be built into you have the NFT, utility burns, and the new NFT is kind of born um, as well. NFT receipts, which we've talked a lot about today. So ticketing, coupons, membership. Yeah, I'm sure many people kind of understand kind of the specific receipts, and that's kind of what we're mainly talking about here with the basic NEP, and then NFT gaming. I have quite a few personal like ideas here about how NEP 819 or just the utility burn function in general would support gaming. I think one of the coolest kind of ways to think about this is, collaborative action. So, like crypto heroes, you sign into your account, you gather in a party. Would allow artists to kind of turn what they're doing into a usable, I don't want to say product, um, but what we're saying is that instead of having just a normal NFT, we're actually making NFTs utility NFTs by adding this function in as a standard. Um, so yeah, increases the features offered by NFT platforms. building on Near. So this kind of is extending point number one, where instead like the individual artist, yes, has this all this new possibilities and power with utility in their NFTs. That's awesome. Um, but really, this comes down to like platforms, right? Where a platform would out of the box be able to allow its users to have this utility with whatever they mint. So I think as well, I think you have mint base and then burn function and this redeemer possibilities. So in my opinion, redeemer is great, being able to burn NFT, have the event emitted, see it on a screen. That's wonderful. Um, but having this be like out of the box for any NFT smart contract on Near, in my opinion, seems valid and useful. It offers NFT owners a visual receipt of their interaction with Near. So again, if we're talking about building beyond the hype and we're talking about the next billion users, then the average user is not going to be caring about what happened on chain. They're not going to care about indexing previous data because they have to go before the block height of the event they went to. They probably just want to go to an event, tap their phone or scan some QR code. Maybe click one button like a yes, I authorize the burning. And on an application, it would you'd scan a QR code and you'd say check into event. You check into the event. That would hopefully be calling the function of utility NFT burn, and then you just get some sort of NFT minted to your account saying this is what you burned, and that's it. And forever, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I mean, hopefully the near blockchain still exists, of course, then we will have the ability, the owner who burned the NFT would still have the ability to see this visual receipt in their account.